This show on the road. Let's give praise, glory, and honor to our Father Yah, host by way of his Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahshua HaMashiach. And let's look at John 5:39. John 5:39. See, this is what these so-called sinners who like to call themselves non-Messianic, we always, I thank the Lord. He had me catch John 5:39 early in my dealings with the word, like early. He had me catch that in Psalm 40:7 early. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad, I thank the Lord that he did, that it allowed me to understand that the whole book was about it. As I say, Lil Muffin can sit here and she can bear witness because she know, and Pale too, that I've been saying that for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing I just started saying. It wasn't nothing I said because I seen somebody else say it. You know what I'm saying? It was something that he allowed me to see.
Here, stop it now.
You know what I'm saying? And I thank the Lord for it. I thank the Lord for it because there's no telling what type of time I could be on without that. So when we look at John, when we look at John 5:39, I say, because I never had to wrestle with, is the book about a Mashiach or not? You know what I'm saying? I never had to wrestle with that. Like there was never a time where I was like, the book is not about him. You know what I'm saying? Lil Muffin, you remember that time? I know Pale before I read this John 5:39. Pale, you remember that time when we was in the library with Josiah and he said something wasn't about a Mashiach, and I told him it was, and then I ain't say nothing to him. And then after he got finished, I went ahead and broke it down. I know you remember Pale because he thought he cut his phone off and it was still on and you heard the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? No, Lil Muffin may not remember. All I remember, it was something in Ezekiel in the 40s. Might have been chapter 44. You know what I'm saying? You talking about 2012. I'm talking about early 2013. I'm talking about, no, it was 2012. It was 2012. We stopped messing with Josiah in 2012. You know what I'm saying? And a nigga dropping that. You know what I'm saying? And ran it down. And his response to me was, what about David? And we're going to look at that tonight too, because I seen a nigga say something about Hosea chapter 3, and I got to go ahead and deal with that too. So let's go ahead and get it popping. John 5:39, praise y'all for Yahshua. Search the scriptures. Search the scriptures. One more time for the road. Search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. That's why these niggas going to hell. They not coming to the Son. How you gonna get life when he the one got it? Remember what he said, the 10 virgins said. They say, man, we need some oil for our lamp. They say, go to them that sell. Go to Joseph, nigga. He got it. He say, I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. So we already know. We already know. Ain't nowhere in the world they love. Leah, stop. We know the love of Yah ain't in them. No, it ain't in them. Because they don't believe in the Son. Let's go look at something in the book of Leviticus. See what chapter it is that I want. I think it's chapter 8. That's what I want. Let's start with this here. I just seen it earlier. I didn't want to start with this here Leviticus 8:1. I was looking at it earlier. Lord will, man, we're going to look at Jehu, and we're going to look at David, and we're going to look at, maybe even look at Aaron, and maybe we can even look at Ahaz, and maybe we can look at a couple other brothers who were anointed. You know what I'm saying? And let's see if they fit a Mashiach or not. Men who are anointing, or we'll look at Cyrus. See if are we all Hamashiachs? Are we all anointed ones? Are we all saviors? All these men are similar to pointing to a particular man. Let's look at Hosea 12:10, just for general principle. You know what I'm saying? I sit back saying, man, I thank the Lord, man. I seen after we started using this Hosea 12 and 10, I seen some of the brothers pop that up on niggas' heads on the regular. Stupid nigga. Similitudes. They don't be knowing though. He say in Hosea chapter 12, verse 10, I have also spoken by the prophet. Because we know the testimony of Yahshua HaMashiach is what? The spirit of prophecy. He saying, I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophet. Well, let's go ahead and look at 1 Peter chapter 1, just on general principle, because I'm feeling good right now. Ain't nothing like knowing the Lord. Ain't nothing like having an understanding. I'm talking about not just knowing the Lord in the word, but knowing him because you follow him. Knowing him because you obey him. Ain't nothing like that. That means you got a chance to be made perfect. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at a little thing by the dude who sell tools for personal trainers for marketing. And you know, I wasted 59 minutes and 46 seconds of my life. Because the stuff that was in the video that he had to lead you to want to purchase his product, when it was really a seminar. So you know they only gave you a bit and piece of the seminar. You know what I'm saying? They ain't give you the whole thing out of the seminar. They only gave you a bit and piece out of the seminar. But he said something. And I'm going to ask y'all a question. Any of y'all remember what I tell y'all about the word try? Any of y'all remember what I done said to y'all about using the word try? No, trying is a word that shouldn't even exist in your vocabulary. You either gonna do it or you not. The reason why I say to remove it, because when you say try, and I know what most people mean when they say try. You know what I'm saying? But when you got that in your mind thinking like that, it leaves room for failure. You know what I'm saying? It leaves room. Now, also, don't get me wrong. If it's certain things, if you tried it and you didn't succeed, then it's different. You know what I'm saying? Because at least you went and did it. And you gave it a try, but you wasn't successful. But you know what I'm saying and when to use it. You know what I'm talking about? You be like, I'm going to try to live right. You either going to live right or you not. I'm going to try not to lie. You either not going to lie or you are going to lie. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you this here was another thing he said too, man. It's the same thing with righteousness. It's the same thing with the word. I'm going to ask y'all this same question that he said on this thing, and I know what he meant. Do y'all know the difference between being poor and being broke? Anybody else? Anybody know the difference between being poor and being broke? You know what I'm saying? No, if you broke, you just don't have any money. If you poor, that's a mind state. No, being poor is a mind state. I'm serious though, that's a mind state. That's a mind state. It's no different than with the word. You could be down from certain things that you may have did in certain situations. You know what I'm talking about? But if you got a mind state that I can never stop sinning, I can never overcome the flesh by the word, then you're going to, every time y'all run to people and say, well, let me word it like this way. You go to people and you say, you know that you can live in this flesh and not sin. They will tell you that's impossible. You know what I'm talking about? Because they have a poor mind state. They have a mind state that can never be attained to. Somebody that has a poor mind state will never have a thought process that they can achieve success. They won't take calculated risks. I ain't talking about stupid risks. I'm talking about calculated risks. They won't plan. They won't do nothing. They'll talk. They won't be committed to doing anything. See, he made a good analogy on one thing. He said some people are involved and some people are committed. See, a lot of y'all, when it comes to this word, y'all involved. Meaning you hear it, you listen to it, but you're not going to do it, which means you're not committed. Some of y'all are committed. You hear the word and you do it. You know what I'm talking about? And somebody, he gave it an example of a lady went to the doctor. She was overweight. He told her she needed to walk to lose weight. Said she lived in Seattle, so you know it rains there a lot. She said that woman walked around her coffee table till she lost 46 pounds. And they say it was so bad because her feet were jointed out the wrong way and her heels on the shoe was run down because she walked the same way every time. But she got the instructions and went and did it. Didn't matter that you didn't tell me what to do or how to do it. You told me I needed to walk, so I went and walked. You know what I'm saying? I was committed on I needed to lose this weight so diabetes don't affect me. You know what I'm saying? Now you would sit back and look at, that's not a mind of somebody who's poor. That's a mind of somebody, I must attain success. I am willing to do whatever is necessary for success. You know what I'm saying? See, somebody look at you, well, why you ain't stopped sinning yet? I'm committed to stop sinning because I have a mind to know that I can through my belief and obedience to the word. See, you's a po nigga. Because you believe that can never happen. Y'all know what it's like to be po. Po nigga just feel like I'm a be po, so I might as well blow my money. I might as well do this. I might as well do that. They don't think in the terms of how people who have a successful mind frame think. Y'all done been around people who were broke but had a rich mind frame. And guess what ended up happening with them over time? They ended up being successful too. See, they didn't think like po people think. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want y'all to sit back and look at that, because it's no different with obeying the word. It's no different. If you got a poor mind frame, you'll believe you can never stop sinning. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to have that mind. 1 Peter chapter 1, about verse 8. He say, receiving the end of your faith. Make it verse 7. Make it verse 8. Make it verse 7. The trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahshua HaMashiach, whom, having not seen, ye love, and whom, though now you see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of that grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the spirit of Mashiach, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Mashiach and the glory that should follow. So we know. So we know. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. We know that these men were speaking of things of which they did not know. You know what I'm saying? But we were testifying of the Son, because they were using similitudes in the ministries. The things that they did when they were doing their prophecy and they were ministering in the word was to point to the Son. Now we got to go back and look at these things. Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 8. Because these niggas say everybody's a Messiah, everybody's an anointed one, everybody's a Mashiach. We got to see them. Or we got to see what these men point to somebody else. What y'all think? I thank the Lord for understanding. That's what I think. He's saying, Yah spake unto Moses, saying, take Aaron and his sons with him in the garments, and the anointing oil, and the bullock for sin, for the sin offering, and 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened bread. And he's saying, gather thou all the congregation together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Moses did as commanded him. Stop. And the assembly was gathered together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Moses said unto the congregation, this is the thing which Yah had commanded to be done. And Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water, and he put him the coat and girded him with the girdle and clothed him with the robe and put an ephod on him and girded him with the curious girdle of ephod and bound it thereon. Now we know when we sit back and we look at Aaron and his sons being washed with water, we know they were washed with water when he washed their feet, right? But then we sit back and see he say, take Aaron and his sons, take the clothes, the anointing oil, a bullock, and 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened bread, and gather them up and bring them to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now, what y'all think that could mean? And that's not what I stopped on that I had that I want to look at. So y'all pardon me on that. Now, what y'all think that could be talking about right there? Well, let's sit back and look at this anointing oil first and foremost. Let's go look at Matthew chapter 26. What you doing, Tizzy Lizzie? You know you don't know how to read yet. Huh? Don't you tear them pages up, Lizzie. Matthew 26 and 7. Matter of fact, 26 and 6. Matthew 26 and 6. Now when Yahshua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it upon his head as he sat at meat. There go right there. Let's go ahead and bring that anointing oil with you, right? Gather up to the door of the congregation or to the tabernacle. Yahshua already told you he was the door. Did not the people all gather up to it? Is he not the red heifer? Is he not a bullock? Was he not a sin offering? He said, but when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahshua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye me? Trouble ye the woman, for she hath wrought a good work upon me. For you have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Anybody remember what king got his body anointed before he got buried? Anybody remember what king that was? We looked at that a long time ago too. Anybody remember what king that was? It wasn't Solomon who got anointed with some oil for his death. It wasn't Hezekiah either. Huh? It wasn't Jehu neither. It was Asa. In 2 Chronicles chapter 16. They buried him in his own sepulchre, and they filled it with sweet odors and all kinds of spices. He was anointed for his burial, just like the Lord was. And Asa, if I'm not mistaken, was a righteous king. You know what I'm saying? So now we sit back and we look at something, right? Let's look at Hebrews chapter. Let's look at Psalm 45. I was going to say Hebrews 1 because Hebrews 1 quotes this. But let's look at Psalm 45. We're going to, instead of looking at it in the New Testament, some of these places that we know we can read it in the New Covenant writings and the epistle letters, we're going to read it out the scripture first. And then we see if a Mashiach line up with it. How about we do it like that instead? What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? So that way, when these old flapjack niggas open up their mouth, we're going to go ahead and shut it for them. Because, see, they going crazy right now because, really, I don't think it was about that the dude said that Isaiah 53 wasn't, 53 wasn't about a Mashiach. I think it was the shots he was taking against people who believe in a Mashiach. I think that's what got him upset. You know what I'm saying? But I also noted that when I say certain things to dudes about the Lord, nobody says nothing to me. These niggas ask open questions, and I come back, I can't get a response. I want some love. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to mock nobody and make it seem like I know this or know that. Hello? How you doing, Chantel? That's all I'm saying. I didn't want a little love too, but it is what it is. Let's look at about verse 4. Matter of fact, make it verse 2. As a matter of fact, make it verse 1. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to do it like this here. I might work in some Isaiah 53. I'm feeling real good this evening. I thank the Lord. I'm going to go ahead and do it. My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Let's look at Jeremiah. Hold this Psalm 45. We'll come back to Leviticus chapter 4. He say, my tongue as is him of a ready writer. Look at Jeremiah 36. I told y'all a long time ago. about this here. Jeremiah 36 and about verse 1. You know what I'm saying? We can read in Jeremiah 36, we can read in Job 19, we can read in Isaiah chapter 30, we can read in Habakkuk chapter 2 about him telling them to go write this stuff in a book. He said, I done speak in matters maintaining to the king, and my tongue is made as a ready writer. Same way he told Ezekiel, eat this roll and speak these words that I say unto you. Do not diminish. Tell it to them whether they hear it or whether they don't want to hear it. See, that's why sometimes y'all might get upset with me, because I'm going to tell you something whether you want to hear it, whether you don't want to hear it. I could care less if you get mad. And we used to say, I could give a London if you get mad. And you can fill in the rest if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's all right. But some of y'all who old enough to know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I meant when a nigga said, I don't give a London. You know what I'm saying? I could straight up don't care. Because I'm going to tell it to you. You know what I'm saying? I done told y'all before, man. Some of y'all problem is because y'all ain't never come up like this way. Y'all ain't never look at somebody and be like, I know he got more experience and wisdom than me. I'ma peep what he had to say. See, coming up, boy, I was like that. My nigga Tightwad, cousin Damon, you know what I'm saying? Older dude around the way, man. I'm talking I used to be at them niggas' feet like this here. Whatever them niggas said, boy, I'm on that. It wasn't never, I remember one time, man, my cousin Damon was like this here. He wasn't my blood cousin, but you know what I'm saying? We called him that. I known this man almost my whole life. That's my homeboy that died on that boat. I was going back and forth, man, with this dude, man, in the neighborhood, man, on the matter. And I knew the nigga ain't know what he was talking about. And I was slaying him with information. But the nigga was steady coming. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Man, cousin Damon pulled me to the side. He said, let me tell you something, man. I might have been like 15 years old. Damon really wasn't nothing but like 2-3 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, I done told y'all about this before. Everybody might have somebody in their neighborhood you grew up with, even though they wasn't that much older than you. Their mind frame was so far ahead, you looked at them like they were 10 years older than you. You know what I'm saying? His mind frame was so far ahead of where we was at the time. And he pulled me to the side. He said, let me tell you something, boss. He said, man, he said, you think that nigga know what he talking about? I'm like, no, that nigga don't know what he talking about. He said, you know what you talking about, right? I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. He said, I can tell. So he said, if you know that he ignorant, what you talking to him for? He said, what you even going back and forth with him for? If you know he's stupid, he'll know what he talking about and he ignorant. I say, cuz you got a point. And I stopped doing stuff like that after that. Cuz pulled me to the side of the tent. Don't be going back. If you already, he said, once you done laid down the info, man, let that alone. Let that alone. I ain't sit back, nigga, you can't tell me nothing. I sat back and looked at who it was. This the big homie, this big car. Anything he say, I'ma wait at. See, that's what the apostle, that's what Peter considered when all them people start walking with the Lord. He say, Lord, where we gonna go? You got the words of eternal life. He considered what the man had to say, and he know, this man know what he talking about. Where else I'ma go? Because he sat back and looked at, if he got the words of eternal life, he done made his mouth as a ready writer, as a pen. Because he's speaking of the matters concerning the king. Jeremiah 36:1. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, the king of Yehuda, that his word came unto Jeremiah from Yah saying, take thee a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken against Israel, and against Yehuda, and against all the nations, from the day that I spake unto thee from the days of Josiah, even unto this day. It may be that the house of Yehuda will hear all the evil which I purpose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. And Jeremiah called Baruch the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of Yah, which he had spoken unto him upon a roll of a book. Now, what did we just read the psalmist wrote? Because I believe David wrote this song and he's given credit for it. What did the psalmist say about this man? This is for the sons of Korah, a song of love. He say, I speak the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Let's look at what Hamashiach says here in John chapter 5 and about verse 30 as it pertains to that. Because remember, it said the prophets, speaking of the sufferings beforehand, have testified of these things. They were speaking of things that would come after them. We need to begin to consider these things. That man say my mouth is like a ready writer. A ready writer. That means if his mouth is a ready writer, that means he ready to drop the word on command. Because that goes back to Psalms 40:7. Lo, it's written of me. I come in the volume of the book to do thy will. Thy law, thy Torah is in my heart. Your instructions, your testimony. That brings something else to mind since I said testimony. Thank the Lord. Make it about verse 30. John 5:30. I can of my own self do nothing. Because remember, he said, I speak concerning the king. I can't do none of this stuff on my own. Because remember, we talked about this Tuesday night. I know everybody didn't hear. He said, I will raise up a prophet, Moses, like unto you, and I will put my words in his mouth. We know Hamashiach said in John chapter 12, my Father's given me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. He said, I bear witness of him that sent me. He that believe on me don't believe on me, but him that sent me. Who is the King of glory? Yah of hosts is the King of glory. Because I sit down in my Father's throne. So my Father is a king sitting on his throne. He gave me rule and dominion to rule as a king. But when he come back, we'll look at that too since I said it. Hold on. He said, if I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There's another that bear witness of me, and I know the witness which he witness of me is true. You sit under John, and he bear witness unto the truth. But I receive not testimony from man, but these things I say, that ye might be saved. He was a burning and shining light, and you were willing for a season to rejoice in his light. But I have greater witness than that of John, for the works which the Father hath given me to finish, the same works that I do, bear witness of me, that the Father hath sent me. Let's look at 1 Corinthians 15, since I say the Father king on his throne. 1 Corinthians 15. Let's see what Hamashiach got to do then. 1 Corinthians 15 and about verse 27. Because he say, sit down here at my right hand till I make thy enemy thy footstool. That means he's sitting in the Father sitting on his throne. That means he's speaking matters pertaining to the king. And since Hamashiach was made a king according to the oath which he swore to David, I thank the Lord that he put it in my mind to go to verse 1. Because we're going to talk about David a little bit tonight. Because I'm sick of these niggas with the games they be playing. See, a lot of these niggas think they slick. All that blaspheming, pump faking, and playing you doing. Your life on the line, nigga. Man, I was sitting back listening to something. Man, I listened to them boy. It was seeing what them Hebrew War Machine boys been talking about. Man, that dude got on there talking about that metaphysics. Boy, I hung the phone up. Just hold on, man. Call dropped on me, man. We come on back. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, y'all. It put me off. I was listening to that Hebrew War Machine thing the other day, man. Cause I didn't want really, I was calling in and my phone wouldn't let me click one. I know it wasn't nothing but the Lord. Cause I was trying to holler just holler at Sal, really. Just let Sal know I was there, man. I had a chance to just call in. Really just holler at Sal, man, cause I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate the Lord put it on his heart to let it come through there and preach, because he don't never really stress me about debating or nothing. Because he know I don't particularly care to do that. You know what I'm saying? He know I don't particularly care to do that. The one time I did it is because he came at me and asked me, would I do that particular topic? And I told him I would rather preach, but I'll do that particular topic on the strength of you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So I like to just let him know, man, because, you know, I really don't have an opportunity to get on there. A lot of times I don't be wanting to hear what them dudes talking about. They having a debate right now about is Hamashiach in the Old Testament or not. Right now as we speak. You know, it's two dudes from New York, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only, I'm going to be honest with y'all. That's the only debate that I will take. That topic right there is the only debate that I will take. I'm letting y'all know that now. That is the only topic that I will take. And I'm telling you right now, my debate style gonna be a little different on that topic, because I'm not gonna be presenting no passages that bear witness of a Mashiach. I'm gonna let the nigga who I'm debating say that it's not. And then I'm gonna let tell Sal, for whatever time I got to speak, let that nigga pick a chapter and we'll see if he's talking about the Lord or not. No, I want to do it. The reason why I want to do it like that, so everybody can see there's nothing pre-prepared. You're not going to know where I'm going. You're not going to try to say, I know what scriptures you're going to pull. I'm going to let you pick them. I'm going to let you pick them. And then if the Lord be faithful, if the Lord be merciful, if the Lord see fit, and his goodness and his mercy that's encapsulated in the great name of Yahweh by way of our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach, he will allow me to crash whatever they talking about. That's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. That's the only debate I will take. I might let him know that that's the only debate I'll take. That's the only one I'll take. To am one of them niggas. They can go get their best. They go get who they want to get. Matter of fact, they can get 7 niggas. But the nigga who was on there last night, man, that nigga went to talking about metaphysics and hexagons and all. I had to hang the phone up. No, it wasn't Lex. No, man. That nigga was talking about that metaphysics, man. I had to get off the phone. I said, I can't listen to this here. I don't want to hear no more. 15, 27, that's how I felt. I said, I tried a whole lot. I said, I couldn't hear no more. I can't listen to this. I say, man, Under the Dome finna come on. I'm gonna just watch that. I said, I'm gonna just watch Under the Dome. I only watched 2 shows, man, Under the Dome and Blacklist. Blacklist don't come back on till the fall. I watched the Blacklist now. You know what I'm saying? I watched first 48 too, but that's it. That's how I felt. You know it's serious, man. You know I be ready to drop some word. And if I got to cut the phone off, say I'm finna go watch TV, you know full well them niggas wasn't talking about nothing. I done missed football games about the word. And I love football. I ain't talking about no college football on no Saturday either. I'm talking about Sunday football, Jaguar games and all. He say for verse 27, 15 chapter 1 Corinthians, for he hath put all things under his feet. But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted, which did put all things under him. And when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that Elohim may be all in all. So the whole time when the Mashiach was talking about the things that he was doing, he was just talking about his Father. That's why he say, when you seen the Father, you seen me. I speak in matters concerning the King. So I'm speaking of myself, but in speaking of myself, I'm actually speaking of him who sent me. And my mouth is like a ready writer. See, let's look at 1 John chapter 5. That's a serious thing to say, boy, my mouth like a ready writer, boy. Say my tongue is the pen of a ready writer. That means every word I'm spitting, boy, I'm spitting book to you. Spitting book to you. These stupid niggas, that's the part that killed me with the dude that say they believe in it. When we go to talking about these things or testifying of them, they quick to scream it ain't. 1 John 5 and 6. They quick to scream it ain't. Well, if you knew the word, you know what that is? Hold on, thank the Lord. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. This is he that came by water and blood, even Yahshua HaMashiach, not by water only, but by water and blood. And it is the Spirit that bear witness, because the Spirit is true. For there are 3 that bear record in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the Ruach HaKodesh. These 3 are one. Where do we go back and find the scripture that back that up that there's 3 that bear witness in heaven? Who remembers? Who knows? It's been a long time since we looked at it. Most of y'all wasn't even around. I'm gonna say more than most. I can sit back and think on my hand who were around. T, Brittany, possibly Mouse. That's on this phone right now, and that's it. Matter of fact, Mouse might not even been around yet. Matter of fact, T might have not even been around yet. Because I might have did this in 2013, be honest. You know, in the book of Job, in about the 16th chapter, and the 19th verse, Job say, my witness is in heaven and my record is on high. Now this man just said it was three that bear witness in heaven. The Father, the Word, and the Ruach HaKodesh. These three are one. Then he saying there are three that bear witness in the earth. The Spirit and the water and the blood. And these three agree in one. If we receive the witness of men, the witness of Elohim is greater. For the witness of Elohim, for this is the witness of Elohim which he testified of his Son. So we see that the Father, through the prophets, was speaking of a matter concerning the king, and he made this man's tongue the ink of a pen of a ready writer. Let's look at what Malachi chapter 2 say about a priest then. You got all these Hebrew niggas running around here talking about they a high priest. Niggas need to be high slapped. You say, I'm a chief priest, I'm a high priest. I wouldn't be mad at you if you say you're a priest. If you joined the Yahshua, you would be a priest, but you ain't no priest, nigga. There ain't no knowledge in your mouth. You niggas be around here cuss and think it's cool. I seen a dude going off today. I wasn't mad what he was going off on a nigga who support the Talmud, when the Talmud say a grown man can have sex with a 3-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? How you pick up a book that even promote that? That Talmud say you can have sex with a 12-year-old, but you can sodomize a 9-year-old if you can't get to a 12-year-old. And if she's a girl, you can hit her at 3. And you got the nerve to say something against a Mashiach, and you handle a book that talk about sodomizing 9-year-old boys? Nigga ought to shoot you on sight. Any nigga who subscribe. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I mean, that's what, yeah. That's where they get it from, absolutely. But I'm sitting there looking at this here. I don't even care about them. I want to know how a grown man, I don't care what race he is, read a book talking about having sex with a 9-year-old boy. And had a nerve to open up your mouth and put your mouth on anybody. What type of grown man say, I read a book where it says it's permissible for you to have sex with a 3-year-old, shoot that nigga. Go get the 50 cal, man, put it to his dome. Man, them niggas be knowing what's in there. They don't be caring. They deal with that stuff because they justify that Kabbalah. Somebody just put up the iPhone numbers when you got your lock, when you got to put your lock code in. He said it's the tree of life on the Kabbalah. Look just like it too. I wouldn't put it past them that they did it. But when you got dudes who mess with that Kabbalah, they got to mess with the Talmud. So in order to mess with that Kabbalah, with that metaphysics that they own, they got to take the bestiality and the pedophilia along with it. Hypocrite. Because you can't mess with the Kabbalah and not take the Talmud. You got to take it. So if you take that, you take everything come along with it. That means you stamp it. You consent to it. Malachi 2 and 5. That means you consent to it. That's the same thing we see with Ananias and Sapphira when they held back the money from the apostle. You consented to that. They both died. Y'all got to be looking at the stuff you consent to, the stuff you go along with. Because some of y'all be going along with the stuff your sinner friends and sinner family members be doing. You stamp it. You guilty of it too. You go along with it. Why you think Pilate say, I wash my hands of this here, man? I ain't got nothing to do with this. Because I don't want nothing to do with this. Y'all ain't going to put this on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing to do with this. I don't consent to this. Guess what? You sitting in there with your family and friends, and you know y'all doing stuff. They doing stuff you ain't got no business. You sitting right around. Well, they doing it. I don't do it. Even though you do it too. That's why you sitting there. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all be scared to lose them people. I ain't scared, man. I ain't scared to lose nobody. I don't care what you do. Go ahead and go to hell. Let's rub on my back. What's one less nigga I got to worry about? That one less nigga I ain't got to worry about. I ain't got to worry about you. I ain't got to worry about your feelings. I ain't got to worry about talking to you. That's one less headache for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, man, you can have dealings with people, interact and speak with people. Y'all be intertwined with them, though. But hey, this your soul. Do what you want with it. My covenant was with him of life and peace. And I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me and was afraid before my name. We know that Hamashiach was heard and that he feared. He said, I came to give him life and give it to him in abundance. He told you in John chapter 14, in the world you had tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world, because in me you going to have peace. A lot of y'all don't have no peace because you don't have the Son, because you ain't took hold of that covenant. See, I didn't hit that Hebrews 9 and 14 on that show when they were talking about death. He said for a testament to be in effect, there got to be death of a testator. In order for you to make a covenant with sacrifice by a Mashiach, you got to die in order for you to take hold of that covenant to get that life and peace. But you steady screaming, trying to stay alive. That's why you ain't took hold to it. He said the law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law in his mouth, for he is the messenger of Yahweh. That means he speak the matter concerning the king, and he done made this man's tongue like the pen of a ready writer. Because that's all the Mashiach did, was drop book on these people. Y'all do know that, right? How many times we done looked at that and seen this man say something, he was quoting book to these people? And they didn't even know it. That's why he told them, you need to search the scriptures. They talking about me, dummy. Come over here, I think it's the book of 2 Kings I want. Make sure it's 2 Kings I want. It could be Chronicles. God said something about thank the Lord, took me straight to it. 2 Kings chapter 11. 2 Kings chapter 11, we'll look at verse 1. And then we'll drop down and move. By somebody else who was anointed. Y'all ready? 2 Kings chapter 11. And when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the seed royal. We're going to get to Jehu too, though. I promise you that. But Yehosheba, the daughter of King Joram, sister of Ahaziah, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him from the king's sons which were slain, and they hid him, even him and his nurse, in the bedchamber from Athaliah, so that he was not slain. What that sound like to y'all? Well, let's look and see in Matthew chapter 2. Because it said they took the son and arose. She came back and killed everybody, and they took and hid him so they wouldn't be killed. Ain't that something? But guess what they gonna tell us? That ain't what they're talking about. See, you gotta look. You gotta look at it in context. Matthew 2 and 6. Make it 4. Matter of fact, make it Matthew 2 and 3. We know verse 1 say Hamashiach was born in Bethlehem. Yahshua was born in Bethlehem. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with it. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded them where Mashiach should be born. They said unto him, remember what a Mashiach mean, anointed, right? They said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea. For it is written by the prophet, thou Bethlehem in the land of Judea, or the land of Yehuda, because it got Judah here just spelled differently, are not the least among the princes of Yehuda? For out of thee shall come a governor. See, in Malachi it say a ruler. But ruler and governor are the same thing. I want you to keep that governor in mind. That shall rule my people Yisrael. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when you have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also. And when they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. Let's drop down to about verse 12. We need to read verse 11. And being warned of Elohim in a dream, that they should not return to Herod, they departed in their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of Yah appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. And when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of Yah by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he diligently inquired of the wise men. So we sit back and see right here in 2 Kings chapter 11, you could come back, that they did that they took him from among the king's son that was slain and hid him. Look at verse 3. Hid him. 2 Kings 11 and 3. Went and hid him. Same thing. It's the sufferings of Mashiach, the similitude. And guess what we sit back looking at? Say of the seed royal. Hold what you got. Come over here to Romans chapter 8. Even though this ain't even though this ain't really dealing with, it's dealing with it, but it's not dealing with it. But I will be remiss not to go to it. Romans 8 and 34. Because I talked to y'all earlier about these people slaughtering us like it's nobody's business. He said, who is he that condemned? It is the Mashiach that died, yea, rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Elohim, who make intercession for us. Hold on. Paul said this man made intercession for us. Well, hold what you got. Let's look at Isaiah 53. I guess the Lord gonna have a deal with it. He said that Hamashiach make intercession for us. We look at Isaiah 53 and 12. Well, let's look at verse 11 and let's see what it says. And now we look at Isaiah 53. Go to Jeremiah chapter 30 and go get you that. And we'll start at about verse 4. And after we look at Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4, go get you John chapter 19 and let's go get verse 33. Because we're going to see if this man's tongue was made as a ready writer. He said, he shall see the travail of his soul. Y'all know what travail is, right? What is travail, gentlemen? Travail. You in pain. All these women who on this phone who done gave birth know exactly what that birth pains and that travail is all about. He shall see the travail of his soul and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquity. These niggas say this Israel. How is by the knowledge of Israel are we justified? That's the stupidest thing you'd ever have to say out your mouth. Hold what you got. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 9. Still hold Jeremiah chapter 30. Hold in 2 Kings chapter 11, Isaiah 53, Jeremiah chapter 30, John chapter 19. But let's look at what the Lord said about us in Deuteronomy chapter 9. Let's just see if we are righteous, if this is righteous servant then. Because I don't know. Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 6. Matter of fact, Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 5. Something that'll come to my mind now that I'm looking at this here too. I might swing it to Galatians chapter 2. I might even swing it to Titus chapter 3. Matter of fact, make it 4. Deuteronomy 9 and 4. Speak not thou in thy heart, after that Yah thy Elohim have cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness Yah have brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations Yah doth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thy own heart do thou go to possess their land. But for the wickedness of these nations Yah thy Elohim doth drive them out from before thee, that he may perform the word which he sware unto thy fathers Abraham, Yitzhak. That's how you say Isaac in Hebrew, is Yitzhak, and Yaakov, or Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand therefore that Yah thy Elohim give thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Remember and forget not how thou provoked Yah thy Elohim to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou did depart out of the land of Egypt until you come unto this place. You have been rebellious against Yah. That don't sound like that's too much of a righteous servant to me. What y'all think? Well, let's look at let's look at Titus chapter 3 first. We still holding those things in the scriptures, but let's look at these epistles. He say, not for your righteousness. Now we wonder, because Paul say this man made intercession for us. We sitting here wondering, how in the world, where does this man get this stuff from? Well, we turn around and we look at Titus chapter 3 and 3, and let's just see. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient. Weren't our forefathers disobedient and foolish? Deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and in envy, hateful and hating one another. But after that, the kindness and love of Elohim, our Savior, toward man appeared, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us by the washing of regeneration and the renewing of the Ruach HaKodesh. Ain't that amazing that he said, I didn't give you this land for you to dwell in by no righteousness of you, but because I made an oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which takes us back to Ecclesiastes 8, I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment in regard to the oath of Elohim, because I swore forever you'll be a priest after the order of Melchizedek. I promised that I would give you all these things as my son. I made an oath, right? I made an oath with you. You remember Hamashiach, Lord we'll get around to looking at it. Hamashiach had to do everything his father said in order to get the promise that he promised him. Because the same things that he promised him is what he promised to our fathers. What he promised to Abraham, what he promised to Isaac, what he promised to Jacob. Those are the same things. He had to do what that man said in regard to that same oath. That makes sense to y'all. So then when we turn around, this man say it's not by work, because we just sat back and seen that in the law in Deuteronomy. It wasn't no uprightness of your heart. That's how y'all supposed to sit back. That's what's supposed to keep you humble. See, that's why he told him that, because all of us know we were disobedient, we were rebellious, we lived in diverse lusts. When the love and mercy of Yah appeared, it allowed us to be saved, not by anything that we have done. That's why he say, humble yourself under the mighty hand of Elohim. I will exalt you in due time. So when we turn around and we look at turning to the call, which we talked about on Wednesday, we see how he said Hamashiach was the meekest man on the earth. And I mean how Moses say Moses was the meekest man on the face of the earth. And we see Hamashiach say, come learn of me, I'm meek and I'm lowly in heart. And then we see one of the fruits of the spirit is meekness. Because when you sit back and you look at the word is supposed to humble a man. It's supposed to have a man in a low state. Not a low state as being low as being poor, but not having such a high regard for itself. Like we sat back and we looked at with our father Jacob, with our father Yaakov, and say, look here, man, he's a plain man dwelling in tent. I don't make myself a no reputation. I'm a humble dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you, some people might say, that nigga there ain't humble because I'm a confident individual. See, some people can misconstrue confidence for arrogance or cockiness. See, confidence means I'm sure of myself, not full of myself. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference of being confident in myself, I believe in myself, I trust in myself, and being full of myself. See, being full of myself is like I was telling y'all earlier. I know they watching me, the feds watching me because of what I post on Facebook. They watching me. You's a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul say, unless I exalt myself above measure, that I might appear more than what I am. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what some of y'all problem is. You want to craft an image to make yourself appear to be more than what you are. People see straight through that stuff. They just don't say nothing. They really be laughing at you and mocking you. Because you got to be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Hamashiach didn't do that, man. He didn't exalt himself above measure. He said, I don't receive honor from men. My Father honored me. He said, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. I have one who honor me, even my Father, whom you say is your Elohim. So we had to sit back and look at our opportunity to hear the word and be committed to the word versus being involved with the word is by no works of righteousness which we have done. We'd already looked at not too long ago, not in great detail, that Hamashiach is actually the land. And they sold the land. He said, my eyes are continually upon this land. He says his eyes are continually upon the righteous. He said, Father, I know you hear me always. His eyes were continually on this man, except for a short period of time where he turned it back on. Because he had to. You know what I'm saying? Come on over here back to, where was that before this here? Let's come on back to Isaiah 53. We good at Deuteronomy 9. We don't need to read no other place. We go back to Isaiah 53. What I'm sitting around mentioning this here is because I want you to understand and know you got to remain humble. Now we know Hamashiach bared our iniquity. Paul said this man made intercession for us. So we're going to have to deal with that. Who can think of somebody who made intercession real fast? I got two people on my mind. Moses one. Who else I got on my mind? Moses one. I got two more people just come to my mind. Well, one was already there. Solomon made intercession. Remember with that dude who grabbed the horns of the altar? What about Job? Huh? What about Abraham? What about Abraham and Sodom and Gomorrah? So we see in a similitude of son Abraham, intercessor. Guess what? Solomon was anointed. We're going to read about it. Solomon was anointed with oil. What about Job? What about Job? In the 42nd chapter, he told him to make intercession for his friends. But these niggas teach that you don't need no intercessor. Let's read verse 12 now. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great. He shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death. See what he said? He poured out his soul unto death. He said he would also see the travail of his soul and be satisfied. He was numbered with the transgressors. He bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. Well, let's turn around and let's see. Look at Luke 22. Let's first and see if he made intercession for transgressors, these idiotic fools. We're going to have to pull out the word. They are an imbecile. To me, I think the most disrespectful word you can call somebody is a simpleton. I would be offended if I remember one time my homeboy Rodney called his cousin Bruce. He said, nigga, you simple. Boy, I fell out laughing. I think we were about 15, 16 years old. Bruce was about 2, 3 years younger than us. Man, he called that nigga simple. I fell out laughing. That hardcore call, it's one thing call somebody stupid. It's another thing call somebody simple. I think that hit hard. This old simple nigga right here. You know what I'm saying? You sit there and think about nigga look you in your face. You one simple nigga. You's a simpleton. I think that hit harder than calling them stupid. That's just me though. Luke 22 and 32. And there were 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death, numbered with transgressors. Huh? Because let's back up right here and let's see what one of them, Barabbas, who they gave up in verse 18. In the same chapter. It said they cried all out at once, saying, away with this man and release unto us Barabbas, who for a certain sedation made in the city and for murder was cast into prison. Hamashiach in there with a killer. I seen a dude try to say Barabbas was a revolutionary. Books say the man was a murderer. Well, I ain't seen it in a while, man. There's somebody he ain't. Yeah. 32. 32 one more time. And there were 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they would come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him. And the malefactors, the one on the right hand, the other on the left. Then said Yahshua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. He made intercession for transgressors right there on the tree. You know who else made intercession for the people in the same fashion? Who else made intercession for the people in the same fashion? And he was anointed too. Because he was a king. Joshua didn't do that in the same fashion. He was a king and he was anointed. You don't see Joshua son of Nun, Yahshua son of Nun, get no anointed oil poured on his head. King Hezekiah did this in the 30th chapter of 2 Chronicles. When the people came for Passover and didn't keep it after what was written. He prayed on their behalf and y'all hearkened unto him. Y'all know what I'm talking about? As a king of Israel, wasn't he anointed? So he a king, he was anointed. He just showed a similitude of behavior of an intercessor. We see Mashiach was anointed because we know he was anointed by the woman Mary. Showing you, king, go anointed. Go anointed. He just made intercession for transgressors because they killing this man without a cause. He just made intercession for him. He was numbered with transgressors. Let's go look at Jeremiah chapter 30. I showed it to Troy the other day. I done showed this to y'all in the past. Well, some of y'all, not all y'all. We're going to look at it again. 30 and 5, Jeremiah. These niggas be quick to scream, we in Jacob's trouble. We ain't in no Jacob's trouble. They been killing us like this. These niggas act like all of a sudden we had a 30-year gap where the police wasn't beating us and killing us, and all of a sudden they just crunk up again. They been treating us like we ain't even human. Like our lives don't matter. That they can trample upon us. That they can disrespect us. That they can slap us and spit on us and beat us and murder us. And nobody cares. But, you know what I'm saying? But thank the Lord in heaven cares. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this people fed up. It's like, come on, man, how much more we going to take? But the key thing, what we looking at, we still ain't been humble. We still ain't turned to Yah yet. The rest in peace that we seeking, we not going to get it till we come to him. Because I know they fed up and I ain't mad at them. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm be honest with you. No matter how greasy that woman got out the mouth to that officer, did that mean he should take her and bam on her neck? Absolutely not. No matter how greasy she get coming through the back door of the county, you ain't got no business putting your hands on people's church. If that person ain't being physically combative, you ain't got no business doing that. I just seen a video of police in Minnesota, dude on the ground, kicked him in the chest. When he stood up, he said, F you, punched him right in his mouth. Now he handcuffed, but just because he said F you supposed to have enough professionalism to know you don't need, and cameras on him. He know he being videotaped. He punched him and kicked him anyway. He didn't even care. That's the part y'all don't be understanding. These officers know y'all filming them and they still do it anyway. So what that tell you? They don't have no fear of any retribution or accountability for what they do to us whatsoever. That says a lot, that I can be filmed, know I'm being filmed, and still physically assault a man. That means I have no regard for his life. I have no regard for being jailed or fired or nothing. I know nothing's gonna happen to me because you ain't nothing but some niggas. Now I know some niggas like to coon and say, well, you know, at the same time, we do bear a level of responsibility. I seen a dude post a video, man, and people got mad with him. He was like, well, what's on your timeline? And he was like, look at the things we promote. World Star Hip Hop, owned by black people. You know what I'm saying? MediaTakeout.com, owned by black people. Love and Hip Hop, started by black people. You got to realize that about 70 to 90% of Caucasians do not live around black people. They don't have constant interaction with you. So the only manner of judgment they have to base on their outlook of you is based on the media that we present out in the public. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, we gravitate to these type of things. We like these type of things, and then we shock when these people look at us as if we are less than human. You know what I'm saying? That means that these preachers and these leaders in these streets in the United States of America are failing us miserably. They're failing us miserably because ain't nobody preaching no standard, ain't nobody living no standard, ain't nobody talking about no standard. Therefore, the people don't feel like they need to elevate their behavior to call somebody to respect you. See, y'all want people to respect you, but you don't respect yourself. You don't even respect people to know how to talk to people. You talk to people sideways, talk to people nasty. Somebody say something to you don't like, you got an attitude, you shoot off at your mouth, but you want people to respect you though. With people of respect, they don't care themselves like that. I done had all type of people say all type of stuff to me I ain't like. I don't mean I went off on them. I just let them know. I told you, man, I had a dude from GMS. I say, bro, don't talk to me like that. Respect me as a man. Talk to me like a man. I ain't talking to you like that. Because how I cared and conducted myself, somebody came to me and say, man, I like how you handled yourself. Because that nigga was talking crazy. You ain't get loud with him. You ain't go off on him. You ain't cuss him. You ain't do none of that. See, people sit back and they look at that. Did I want to slap fire from this nigga? Absolutely. I want to slap the remaining 6 good teeth he had left in his mouth because the rest of them were ragged. I wanted to slap them old Medicaid glasses off his face. Just as a man, because I asked you don't talk to me like that as a man. Not even dealing with the word. I'm just telling the bro, don't talk to me like that as a man. Give me that respect as a man. If you nigga, I can talk to you any way I want to. So you just looked me in my face, told me I don't respect you as a man. You know what I'm saying? See, y'all women don't understand that. See, respect is a big deal with a man. Respect me as a man. I want my respect. See, dudes kill for respect. Dudes die for respect. A lot of the killings and shootings y'all see, a lot of it be behind, give me my respect. Give me my respect as a man. That's real big to men. That's real big. See, that stuff ain't that big to y'all. That's why when y'all say certain things to a man and they snap and you wonder why they snapping, it's because respect is a very serious matter to a man. Because if a man don't have his respect, he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So us as the men and women of the Most High, y'all, we have to start carrying ourselves with respect. Y'all women want to say y'all be virtuous women. Do you conduct yourself like virtuous women? When y'all take photographs, do you take photographs that are becoming of a virtuous woman? Do you speak as a virtuous woman? Do the things you engage yourself in, is it something that a virtuous woman would listen to or do? The music that you listen to, is it something a virtuous woman would listen to? You should, that same way with a man, do you dress like a virtuous, upright and righteous man? Do you speak like one? Do you act like one? Do you lead like one? Do you conduct business like one? You know what I'm saying? Is you around here listening to songs talking about who having sex with your old lady? Is you around here listening talking about it seems like you're ready? Like, what are you engaged in? When you women go out the door, can I see too much of your flesh? Cause I done told you something. Y'all women y'all ain't got no business going out the house, man. You don't need to be seeing your arms or shoulder blades. You ain't got no business with no open-toed shoes on. You want to be virtuous, but then you look at, I don't want to look like no old woman. I can't wear nothing. I can't do nothing. Hey, it's better than wearing hellfire. You know what I'm saying? It's better than wearing hellfire. That stuff ain't that serious. But you know why? Because you want to be seen. You want somebody to tell you how nice you look, how pretty you are, how nice your hair is. Oh, vain bastard. That's why he told you that in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 17. The daughters of Zion are haughty. They walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, mincing their feet as they go. That's why he had to take all that stuff from you to humble you, because you tying your worth into your outward appearance, but your inward appearance is disgusting. Y'all done seen Shiloh Howe. That woman was grotesque. She was grotesque. But who she was on the inside was outright beautiful. Had nothing to do with any of the things she adorned herself with. It had nothing to do with what her figure looked like. It was her character and personality that shined through. Even the most beautiful woman in the movie, when he sat and looked at her, she looked disgusting. She had nice hair, you know, had her jewelry on and little outfits on and her heels, feeling good. But inwardly, she was ugly. She was ugly. You just sit back and look at that. If somebody had the Shiloh Howe eyes, what would they see with you? Because guess what? When y'all look at you, y'all got, for all intents and purposes, for a lack of better way of stating it, he got the Shiloh Howe eyes. We know that Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13 say, all things are naked unto him whom we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't hiding. You ain't hiding. So what y'all try to cover up your insecurities and all that stuff with? Weave, makeup, jewelry, Y'all sit here and say you love the Lord, but y'all niggas love to go out in public with your head uncovered, so you're not praying all the time because you want somebody to see your hair and tell you how nice your hair is. Because that's all you worry about. Is somebody telling you, look at your natural hair, it looks so nice. That's all you care about. You know what I'm talking about? That's bad for business. That's bad for business. That's all you care about. When you sit back and look at it, when you step out the door, is all you care about is somebody telling you how pretty you is. You ain't got the confidence to know you beautiful because you serve God. But you need some validation, somebody tell you that. And you don't care who tell it to you. I mean, your self-esteem low. That means your strength in the Lord ain't really where it's at because you still tying it to what you look like. Don't get me wrong. I know every woman like to be complimented. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, though, you ought to know my beauty come from, I fear the living Elohim. I serve Yah of hosts, the Kodesh Father, by way of his son, Yahshua HaMashiach. That's where my beauty come from. Books say favor is deceitful, beauty is vain. Your outward appearance is worthless. How that's going to get you out of hell? Because you pretty? See, you think all them old pouty faces you nigga be making and all that type of stuff going to mean something with the Lord. Man, the Lord don't care nothing about that. Ain't no making no face and get what you want with him. You going to hell. Because I wanted to go outside and show my arms. I wanted to have on some open-toe sandals so niggas see my pretty feet. Some of y'all know y'all feet ain't pretty. I don't even see why you feel comfortable going out in public showing them anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can cover them things up, man. You gonna scare the dead. The dead gonna jump about their grave. They cover them things. Oh, I just had to resurrect for 5 minutes to tell you that. I'm going to lay back down. I didn't need to tell you that. Say he didn't want to sit back and see what's going on in the world. Since he been dead, all he want to do was jump up and tell you your feet are atrocious. I thought you had been dead. How your feet look like they decomposed? Ain't nowhere in the world a woman ought to be walking around here feet look like they decomposed. I'm for real. Not no pterodactyls, I said decomposed. If any of y'all have ever seen a decomposed body, you know what it look like. Jeremiah 30 chapter and verse 5. I'm just telling you the truth now. $20, man. $20, man. Put an extra $10, $15 on it, man. Them Asian people get extra freaky with it. It's $20, man. That's all. You niggas got $20 for ho-hos and Twinkies. Ain't got $20 to put on your feet. What kind of junk is that? I ain't gonna lie to you. I think that what Fat Boy called y'all out. All y'all women on Passover around there trying to hide your feet. And I already know something. Boy, I know something about a woman got pretty feet, boy. She know her feet on point. She ain't hide nothing. She'll have her feet stuck straight on out. You know what I'm talking about? Don't care who's, what you say, don't care who see it. You nigga around there hiding your feet. You know y'all thing look like nigga had been stepping on them with sledgehammers, man. Y'all know y'all been around here ice skating on rocks. You know you been around here mountain climbing with no shoes on. And the worst part was, you knew y'all was gonna have to bare y'all open feet and you still ain't gonna get nothing done to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, man. I'm for real. Man, like I said, man, you ain't even supposed to be waiting to see if your boyfriend or your husband gonna go do it. You know what I'm talking about? Well, your husband, if you married, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I know mine shoot, boy. I bet T get her done. Hey, I don't care if you do. I just got him done yesterday. Go buy it. He go $40. Just go buy it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing against her. Just go buy it. We gonna make sure. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, you single, man. Or you ain't married yet. Don't matter. Don't be sitting right now. I'm gonna wait for my boyfriend to give me some money to go get my feet done. Shoot, don't wait on him to get them done. You ought to want to go get them done on your own. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all spend a lot of time on your feet. Go on, let them, hey, even if they ain't, man, go on, let them people, man. I'm telling you, when I used to go get them on the regular, I enjoyed it, man. Ain't what I'm talking about. I get them people get that stone scrub across your feet, man. That stuff feel great. You know what I'm saying? $20, man. If you got $20 for some ho-hos and Twinkies, man, you got $20 for them people to scrub on your feet. Cause I know some of you niggas got a cabinet full of snacks. Ain't even thought about your feet. Thought about your stomach, though. You thought about that, though. Verse 5. For thus saith Yah, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so there is none like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Well, let's look at John chapter 19. Well, what nigga in there doing? Whipping up something? Nigga in there making a meal. I ain't gonna go that far. I ain't want to take it there. I was gonna get nigga benefit of that. He ain't get on the phone and be around here stroking his schlong. I'm like this here nigga in there cooking something to eat. I hope to God nigga ain't on the phone killing himself. Nigga say you better put that thing in the biohazard bag, boy. Verse 28 of John 19. It said you seen a woman, and I know some of y'all probably ain't put your hands on your hips when you were giving birth. Some of you might have had, but I bet you put your hand somewhere when that baby went to come, and I bet your face got pale too. In travail, because he said he shall see the travail of his soul. John 19:28. After this, Yahshua, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, saith, I thirst. Now there was a set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar and put it upon hyssop and put it to his mouth. When Yahshua therefore had received the vinegar, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. Saw the travail of his soul, and he was satisfied. When he seen the scriptures was fulfilled, he said, it's finished. I'm satisfied. Ain't that what he said? I'm satisfied. If you say everything is finished, you would be satisfied that the work is complete. I'm satisfied. We still holding Romans chapter 8. We coming back. Then he say the Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath day was a high day, besought Pilate that the legs might be broken and that they might be taken away. Then came the soldiers and brake the legs of the first and of the other which were crucified with him. But when they came to Yahshua and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his legs. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out blood and water. He poured out his soul, even unto travail. And we know, sit back looking at, we know he gave birth from the men resurrected from the dead. We know that from Isaiah chapter 26. We know that from Isaiah chapter 66. So we see this man pouring out his soul in travail, and we also seen the man make intercession. That's before we even talk about the man making intercession in the Kodesh tabernacle. We seen that man make intercession in the high place when he was on the tree. Huh? When he say, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Is that not making intercession? So let's look at Isaiah 53, and let's just make sure if with what we looked at, did we see this man do all these things? So did he not see the travail of his soul? Was he not satisfied? We will, Lord permit, get to his righteous servant, justifying many and bearing their sins, and maybe we'll get to him to dividing the spoil and the portion with the great. Did he not just pour out his soul unto death when he poured out his blood and water spilled out? Was he not numbered with transgressors? Was he not? We gonna get to the bearing the sin of the men. Did he not make intercession for transgressors? So guess what that means? Certified dummy. Come on back to Romans chapter 8. Certified dummy. Certified dummy. They cut him off. It's 10:30. You had to go back there and lay the law down on them little muffins and get them going to bed. Who bucking the hardest? Lizzie. It was Leah this time. Both of them. They say they know something going on out here. I know Lizzie's a bad bucker. Lizzie is a bad bucker. All right, y'all. So come on back to Romans chapter 8. We started about verse 34. We in verse 35, right? Romans 8 and 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Now, of course, he's talking about the saints or the Kodesh ones in this here right here. But then we sit back and we look at our people. You know what I'm saying? When y'all look at a lamb, if you get ready to kill a lamb is a docile animal, right? Don't say a word. That's why, let's look at Isaiah 53 again. Somebody was playing a game with this too. I ain't even have it in my mind to look at all this here. But I got time. The Lord will forget everything get everything in that I want. Isaiah 53 and 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. We know how he was oppressed, right? Then people took him and snatched him, right? Gathered up on him. They were slapping him. They spit in his face. They beat on him. Yet he opened not his mouth. They did all that there. He ain't say nothing to Pilate. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. I seen somebody try to say, see, Hamashiach didn't fit that because he cried out. But I guarantee you, once you go to kill that lamb or you go to kill any animal, I bet they go to hollering then. Any of y'all ever seen a lamb get slaughtered? I've never personally seen one. Any of y'all ever seen? They go to crying out, don't they? And what Hamashiach did when it went cried out, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, my Elohim, why hast thou forsaken me? Because before that time, he didn't say a word. Because he brought as a lamb to the slaughter. You know what I'm saying? They took this man and brought him to kill him, and he actually showed the similitude of behavior of a lamb. When we turn around, when we started in Leviticus chapter 4, where it said, bring with you anointing oil, unleavened cakes, because we know from Matthew 26, he gave his disciples what? Unleavened bread, because Hamashiach is our Passover, being sacrificed for us, that we should be a new lump, meaning unleavened, right? And then we know he was a bullock because he said a red heifer was the purging of sin. And we know he was a ram, which is a male lamb, which takes us back to Genesis chapter 22 with the ram that was caught in the thicket with Abraham and Yitzhak, with Abraham and Isaac, right? So we see this man being brought anointed oil. He the anointed oil getting put on his head by Mary. He the unleavened cake, he the ram, and he the bullock, and he the sin offering. Because he said he'll bear the sins of many, right? He'll make his soul an offering for sin. This man did all of this. Come on back to 2 Kings chapter 11. Because they ain't finna slide. Y'all will. I got to get Jehu. I got to get David. I got to get Solomon. And I got to get this other king that I got. I got some other stuff. I got to get it. Y'all all right? These niggas ain't finna be around here talking about this many anointed one. Let's say all I'm going to say is this many dummies. Look at the 4th verse of 2 Kings chapter 11. Matter of fact, we don't even want that there. Make it about verse 8. Matter of fact, thank the Lord. Let's look at verse 6. And a third part shall be at the gate of Sur, and a third part at the gate behind the guard. So shall you keep the watch of the house, that it be not broken down. And the 2 parts of all of you that go forth on the Sabbath, even they shall keep the watch of the house of Yah about the king. And ye shall compass the king round about, every man with his weapon in his hands, and that he come with the ranges, let him be slain, and be ye with the king as he go out and as he come in. And the captains over the hundreds did according to all the things Jehoiada the priest commanded, and they took every man his men that were coming in on the Sabbath with them, that they should go out on the Sabbath, and came to Jehoiada the priest. What did catch y'all mind on what we just read? What caught your mind? Did anything catch y'all mind, or did it just go over your head? Well, let's sit back and look at it. He said that the keepers ought to watch the house and be about the king, and they'll compass the king round about, every man a weapon in his hand. Let's go look in Matthew chapter 26. He said, I give a commandment concerning the king. That's what Isaiah Psalm 45 say. Let me quote the man right. He say, I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. I still ain't even got to what I wanted in Psalm 45. We holding that too. Some way or another, we going to bring it all in. We had an hour and 23 minutes. I got another hour. Y'all will, I get it all in. Matthew chapter 26, about verse 36. Then come Yahshua with them unto a place called Jessamine, and said unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and he began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. You heard what he told him to do. What did he just tell him to do? What did he just tell him to do? What did 2 Kings chapter 11 just tell them to do with the king? Watch with it. And he sent a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. But nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he come unto the disciples and find them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know how a lot of y'all get caught? Because y'all don't be watching. You know what I'm saying? And I know we had just been talking about that, but it's also bigger than bowing your head down or closing your eyes when you're praying when I say you're not watching. See, 1 Peter chapter 5. He say, watch and pray lest you enter into temptation. 1 Peter chapter 5 and about verse 8. So y'all don't be watching. Therefore, that's how the enemy come get you. See, we're not looking at it in the terms of that death. Somebody been phone done hung up. They'll figure it out in a minute. Y'all just gonna have to bear with it because ain't nothing I can do about it. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the Elohim of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Yahshua HaMashiach, after that you have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. You know, that's the thing is, and I hope that somebody sit back and realize that they phone done hung up and they pay attention to exactly what it is that they doing. Because it don't even make no sense. I mean, it really don't. That just go to show that people don't be paying attention nothing to what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, everybody gonna be like, well, I can't deal with it. I don't want to listen. Nigga just can't sit back. You got to learn how to deal with stuff. Just gonna have to block it out and focus. You know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, I mean, I don't know who that is, man. But now, as I was saying, when he say be sober, that means your mind is focused. Your mind is focused. You are aware of what's going on. Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 2. And that's about the longest that is. I mean, this nigga ain't got no idea what he doing. Yeah, I know the nigga got to be asleep. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. I know they ain't paying attention. Nigga got to be asleep. That don't even make no sense. Because they just did, like they said, you couldn't watch with me for 1 hour, nigga done fell asleep. 2 Corinthians 2:9. Because you got to be asleep. Because how long ago you don't even know your phone hung up. Ain't no telling. He say, for this end also did I write, that I might know the proof of you, whether you be obedient in all things. That's to sit back and look at. You see what he said? The proof in you. Where's the proof that you obedient in everything that you told to do? Because I know a lot of y'all not. To whom you forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgive anything to whom I forgave it, for your sakes, for I forgave it in the person of Mashiach, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That means if you're not ignorant of the devices, that means you can see him coming. See, let's look at John chapter 16, about verse 19, about that. I ain't ignorant of his devices. I know how he get on. Well, verse 20. Matthew 16 and 20. It's just a lack of attention to detail. That's what irked me. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That's what irked me. That tell me you ain't paying attention to what you doing. And if you ain't paying attention to what you doing, what is you on here for? You know what I'm saying? Y'all will, it'll stop after a while. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yahshua the HaMashiach. From that time forth began Yahshua to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. But he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan, thou art an offense to me. For thou savor not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of men. See, that's why he was telling them you need to watch and pray. Because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. See, because while you around here savoring the things of men and not the things of y'all, the things of men be able to creep up on you, take you down. You understand what I'm saying? That's how people are able to creep up on you and do certain things or run certain games because you ain't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Thank the Lord. You ain't paying attention. How else is somebody gonna be able to creep up on you and do things to you if you ain't? Some of you niggas ain't watching and your eyes wide open. You know what I'm saying? I done been around niggas and niggas caught them slipping and their eyes were wide open. Wide open. So when you sitting back and you dealing with the word, if the word is in your heart and you're committed to it and you're just not involved with it, then you would see Satan coming because you would be able to overcome him, like John wrote in his epistle letter, because you would know his devices, because we would know the works of the flesh, because the works of the flesh are what? Manifest, right? Remember when we looked at that? The works of the flesh is lasciviousness, maliciousness, spitefulness. You'll be able to spot the works of the flesh. There's no way that stuff could catch you off guard. But if you're not paying attention and you savoring the things of men and you in your flesh and you seeking the things of the flesh and the pleasures of this world, then there's no way in the world that you're going to be able to catch that. And it ain't going to matter if you're sitting there with your eyes open, because your eyes actually are not open. You still sleep. Your eyes still closed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to look at stuff on a natural level on what stuff talking about. Then you got to sit back and look at, am I awake? Am I watching with my eyes open and still ain't seeing? You know what I'm saying? How I can see stuff coming. Just like this here, just like how the Lord just sat back and showed y'all what I was telling y'all last week about it don't matter if you know the law. It don't matter if you know your rights. It don't matter if you in the right. These people can do what they want to do. Does that mean if say you in the right and you can say, well, excuse me, sir, because such and such, this is what it is. If you see he give you attitude and lip coming back, you're supposed to already be looking in his eyes and his body language and peeping, because you're not ignorant of the device and you supposed to know. I just told him that. I see his reaction. I'm going to let that alone because this ain't going to go no further. This not going to end well for me. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be able to peep him. You would also be able to peep him if he was receptive to what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? Then you could be able to continue the conversation. Because, yeah, you know, I looked to research this or whatever the case may be, this is what I found. You could be able to go and have that conversation with him and know it wouldn't be no strife or no contention with it because you were watching him. You know what I'm saying? I could be able to see how he gonna react. I'm be able to see what he gonna do. I see how he received that. You know what most people mess up at? They put something out there and they actually weren't watching to see that this person's reaction wasn't conducive to what they wanted, and then they keep pressing it and it blows up, and they wonder, and the first thing they say, I don't get it. I don't understand. You don't get it, you don't understand because you are an idiot when it comes to things of life. You know what I'm talking about? When it comes to things of paying attention and being up on game, you're an idiot to that. I ain't gonna say that there. You either an idiot or you just lame to the game. Meaning you green, you ain't got no experience. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes being lame ain't got necessarily to be like lame, like you's a sucker. You like to see it just mean you're inexperienced. You know what I'm saying? You see it all the time, and a lot of things, especially in sports, you can see people show they inexperienced. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, it don't take but one experience to get that up out you real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why when you know you inexperienced, it would always be wise to listen to people who are. I know people say experience is the best teacher, but I'm gonna tell you something. It is. And I learned to not do a lot of things, not from going through it myself, because of what I seen others do or them telling me about it. You know what I'm saying? I learned from other people's experiences what to do and what not to do. I didn't have to go through it myself. I didn't have to. That's when you know you run into old stubborn, proud nigga when they always I gotta learn it myself. Oh yeah, you's a dummy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to learn it myself. I can learn it from watching you or listening to you. That's what the word for. We look at the word and see what not to do and what to do based on the experience of other people. We can see what to do and what not to do based on the behavior of other people. But yet when you're dealing with real flesh and blood people you can see, you don't think that way. You got to learn it on your own. You are an imbecile. Man, I'm telling you, man, you can save yourself from a lot of sorrow and a lot of suffering if you just listen to the game people be trying to put in your ear. That's what the Lord was trying to do with us from the jump street. If you just listen to what I got to say and beat the game that I'm putting in your ear, man, you ain't got to worry about nothing. That's how you know we the children of Israel. All you got to do is listen to what I'm telling you. I see this stuff coming before you see it. Come on back to Matthew 26. Because he said surround them all with weapons. I don't know if they did that to him. Let's look at verse 47. I don't know if they surrounded them with weapons or not. This is an anointed king we finna see. And then I'm going to show you something else. This is an anointed king we looking at here now. He's a Mashiach. He said, while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12 came with a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he, hold him fast. Forthwith he came to Yahshua and said, hail, master, and kissed him. Sound like to me. Well, let's look at about verse 55. Let's look at what the Lord told him. And that same hour said Yahshua to the multitudes, are you come out against as a thief with swords and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. Uh-oh. Sound like he said, made my tongue, the pen, like the ink of a ready writer. Even when he sat his disciples down in Matthew 16 and told them all this stuff he was telling them, he was dropping book on them. They had no idea. Come back to 2 Kings 11, because 2 Kings 11 say everybody take a sword and surround the king. And I promise that's what they did. Everybody with a weapon in his hand. He say be with the king when he go out and when he come in. They dipped though. Verse 9 though. He saying the captains over the hundreds did according to all Yehoiada the priest commanded, and they took every man his men that would come in on the Sabbath, with them that should go out on the Sabbath, and came to Yehoiada the priest. Now check the game, peep the game, because we finna flip it real fast. And the captains over the hundreds did the priest give King David spears and shields that were in the temple of Yah. And the guard stood, every man with his weapon in his hand, round about the king from the right corner of the temple to the left corner of the temple, along by the altar and the temple. Ain't that something that when they came and got Mashiach, he told all these men to have they weapons surrounding the king, and Peter had that sword on him. Now we got another witness to bear witness why Peter had this sword on him. They wonder why Peter, because he said have a weapon on you and guard the king, right? We see another reason why Peter got this sword. Let's see what happened after that. And he brought forth the king's son and put the crown upon him. And let's see what they did. And gave him the testimony. And they made him king and anointed him. And they clapped their hands and said, Elohim, save the king. And when Athaliah heard the noise of the guard of the people, she came into the temple of Yah. And when she looked, and behold, the king stood by a pillar as the manner was. And the princes and the trumpeters by the king, and all the people of the land rejoiced and blew with trumpets. Athaliah rent her clothes and cried, treason, treason. What come to your mind with the people rejoicing where the king was standing by and they talking about some treason? Well, remember, right there they said he was blaspheming. But didn't when he came in riding on that donkey, all the people, because nobody was rejoicing for him when they had him in the house of judgment. But when he came in Jerusalem on that donkey, and they were Hosanna, praise be to Yah, praise be to the high. They say, man, you need to tell them people shut up. Say that's blasphemy. But you look at the key thing, he said he anointed him and made him king. But what did he give him? What did he give him? He gave him the testimony. That's what it said, right? Let's look at Luke 24 and let's see what happens then. Luke 24 and 44, let's see what happened then. He said he gave him a testimony, anointed him and made him king. We know after a Mashiach rose from the dead, we just looked at it Wednesday night. He was declared, or Tuesday night I should say, he was declared to be the son of Elohim with power. By the resurrection of the dead and the spirit of Kodesh, he was crowned, he was made a king. He became King of kings and Lord of lords at that time. Sit there at my right hand till I make thy enemy thy footstool. I've anointed thee. So he had to get, after he gave him a testimony and anointed him and made him king. Let's see what he did with a Mashiach then. He said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. And then he opened their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. And he said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved Mashiach to suffer and to rise from the dead the third day. And that repentance and remission of sin should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. Ain't this the same thing we looking at Isaiah Psalm 45? I speak of the things concerning the king. I made my tongue like the ink of a ready writer, like the pen of a ready writer. Because they sought the Lord his mouth. They were coming to the grave looking for him. He the one got the word. He said, you the one we've been looking for. You the one got the words of eternal life. He anointed this man. We already seen that with Mary anointed the man. We already seen that. He anointed the man, he gave him a testimony. Let's look at another. Hold on, let me come back to Leviticus chapter 6. We might finish Leviticus 4, but there was something else in Leviticus 6 I need to hit. It's not Leviticus 6. Which one is it? Which one is it? It was something else. Maybe it's Numbers chapter 7 I was looking at earlier. No, number 7 ain't what I had. Give me a second, I'm trying to remember what it was I had. It might have been Exodus. It was something came to my mind with Exodus. There we go. Exodus 29 and 1. That's what it was. And then we'll try to look at Cyrus and King David. I got a couple other kings. I want to hit this Hosea 3. If I don't hit Hosea 3, if I don't finish with all these anointed kings tonight, y'all will. I get them in the afternoon. University Park Branch Library tomorrow afternoon as well. University Park Branch Library. I think y'all will be back on Pablo Creek. Like I say, I alternated them. So each week, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. This is the thing that thou shalt do unto them to hallow them, or to sanctify them, or to make them set apart. To minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock, 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. Of wheaten flour shalt thou make them. What is important about what we just read in this 29th verse? All this here is the preparing of getting Aaron and his sons ready to minister. He said, but I need you to do something for me. I need you to get some unleavened bread and cakes and these wafers. I need you to anoint them with oil. Y'all know what was mentioned as a wafer? Y'all know what a wafer is. I know some of you niggas know what wafers is because you eat them all the time, greedy nigga. Exodus 16 and 31. Some of you niggas probably got some wafers in your hand right now. And saying the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. The taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Psalm 119, 104. He say, take these wafers, these unleavened cakes. After that, 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. He say, take these unwafered cakes and anoint them with oil. Now, why is this important, talking about anointing some oil, anointing some bread? That's basically what he's telling them. Take some unleavened bread, put some oil on it. Psalms 119, 103. How sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Before we read 1 Corinthians 5 and 7, 1 John 5 and 20. He say, through thy precepts I get understanding. We know, I just told y'all about this the other day, Wednesday night. Hamashiach is the word made flesh. He is the precept. Right? He the precept, right? So when we look at 1 John 5 and 20, he say, through thy precepts we get understanding. He say, your words is like honey to my taste. He say, the manna tasted like honey, wafers. We know that the Son of Elohim is come and have given us an understanding that we may know him that is true and that we are in him that is true, even in his Son Yahshua HaMashiach. This is the true Elohim and eternal life. This is how we're going to be able to attain life, as to dwell in the Son. How else you going to dwell in this man unless you hear him and you believe in him and you walk in him? This is exactly what I was just mentioning just a few moments ago. You're looking at the experience of a man and you're learning from his experience and you're mimicking it. You don't have to actually go through and be beaten and stoned and spit upon and impaled and pierced like he did. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just die to your flesh. You don't actually have to be killed. All you got to do is crucify your flesh with the word, as he was crucified by the word, because he was killed by the word, right? He lived by the sword. He died by the sword. Because we know the sword is the spirit of Elohim, right? The word of Elohim. The same word is what killed him, and that same word is what rose him from the dead. That same word will kill you, meaning you'll die to your flesh, and that same word will raise you from the dead like he was. You learning from his experience. You learning from what your forefathers did. We just looked and seen. I ain't giving this to you because of any righteousness on your part. You've been stiff-necked and rebellious since I known you. Now, how y'all sit back and look at, boy, since I've been dealing with this word, boy, I've been stiff-necked and rebellious since he knew me. You think we had me read that for no reason? That means some of y'all, since y'all been dealing with this since he known you, you've been stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious. I'm going to do what I want. I'm a proud bastard. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I don't care what you say. You say something I don't like, I'm going to murmur, I'm going to complain. I'm going to rise up like Korah. I mean, you fill up the measures of your fathers. Now we turn around and we look at this stuff, man. These people been lying to us so long. I'm talking about these Hebrew Israelite niggas lying to us. These Christian people lying to us. America lying to us. These Christian people killing us. A lot of these Hebrew Israelites killing us. America is killing us. We seeking refuge from the storm. We looking to spare our lives. And if we get the opportunity to spare, why would we be stupid? Why would we be a fool? Why would we be too proud to learn from the experience of others so you don't got to go through that? You know what I'm saying? We could sit jits down and tell them, look here, young blood, I've been out here going the way you going. I'm going to tell you this how it's going to end. I done experienced that and went through that so you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Prayerfully, this world don't have much longer left in it. But let's just say for the sake of conversation it did. And I had a son. A lot of the things that I went through, I can teach my son this the way he don't got to go through it because I done went through it so he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? I done experienced that and went through that so you don't have to. But you know what black people is? We always feel like I got to learn it on my own. That's the only way I'm going to get it. That means you are an idiot. I never understood what people say I need to learn it on my own. Why do you need to learn it on your own? Can anybody give me a rational explanation why you need to learn it on? And it ain't nothing so spiritual and extra mature about me. I never uttered them words. I just got to figure it out on my own. I'll learn it on my own. I'm going to go ahead and take that game for free. Because I know what the game, in these streets, boy, they say game is to be sold, not told. You know what I'm saying? And if niggas giving game for free, I'm taking that. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have to say nothing. Nigga could have let me crash and burn. But he had enough compassion on me to pull me to the side and put me up on it. Now, can anybody give me a logical explanation why you need to go through something instead of taking the game so you ain't got to go through it? Can anybody explain to me how that makes any sense? That somebody can tell you, this is, you don't want to do this because this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you because it happened to me. Don't kick it like that. Man, I didn't know what he's talking about. I got to go through that myself. And then you go through the exact same thing they told you. And then you know what you end up listening? That nigga sure did tell me that. I should have listened. How stupid is that? I got to experience myself. Don't you know that's a sign of pride? Wouldn't you say? That's a sign of pride. And guess what? Pride comes before destruction. So y'all need to start weighing that out, man. The book say before good counsel, get good counsel before making war. You know, remember we looked at that? Before you go make war, get good advice. If somebody telling you something, the part that killed me with black people is, when somebody come telling you something to help you out, you kick, scream, and fight. When somebody come tell you something that don't mean you no good, you hear every word of it and implement it. Somebody trying to tell you something for your own benefit, you don't want to hear it, you fight with them. You know the number one thing, I'm going to tell y'all something too, man. Some of y'all like this, all y'all not like this. When somebody's saying something to you, or mentioning certain things, sometimes you don't always need to think that somebody is about getting defensive and feel like somebody trying to embarrass you or pick at you or nitpick. Sometimes people just telling you stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you throw your setup and you get defensive like that, you're not going to actually be able to catch and hear what the person is saying to you. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind has drifted in another territory thinking about this here. Like I just was talking to T about this a couple weeks ago. I said something to her. She immediately assumed that I was talking about this. I didn't mention all that. I just was making a statement. I want you to do this. You know what I'm saying? Not once did it come across my mind that, oh, you ain't thinking about that or you ain't worried about that or none of that there. I'm just letting you know it's something I want you to do. I need you to handle that. Didn't say when to handle it. I'm just letting you know it's something I want you to do. I just want you to have this in your mind. I need you to handle that for me. You do your end, I'm going to do my end because it's something I want to do. And I'm just letting you know because it's something I want to do and this is what I need you to do. Wasn't thinking about, but immediately she thinking I was thinking about A, B, C, D, E. None of that stuff ever came to my mind. Not one time. Wasn't thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that when you assuming that somebody mean this or mean that when they saying something, because you end up could be causing a conflict or really agitate that person to a high degree. Always don't sit back and assume you think or you know the motive on what somebody's saying to you unless they show their hand. You know what I'm saying? Just sit back and look, because sometimes you can make a fool out yourself. When you do that, That make people don't want to fool with you. You know what I'm saying? It make people don't want to say nothing to you or do nothing with you or do nothing for you because you make assumptions. You know, a long time ago, T got mad when I had that picture of dude doing the vertical leap. And it was like how women jump to conclusions. Because y'all know y'all good for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see something, y'all hear something, and you jump to conclusions. You don't really let stuff play out. I could tell y'all this what I could tell little muff, I could tell T something go down, or I come across somebody. I could tell you this is what I think it might be. But I ain't saying it definitively. I'm going to let it play out. Or I might not say nothing to you at all. And then you come tell me, man, they did this here. I already peeped that. I figured that was going to happen. But sometimes I don't say it out loud because I don't want you to be jumping to nothing. Because I don't want to jump and say this is this person's motive or this is why it happened. Just let me sit back and see. Time going to show it. You know what I'm saying? Time going to show it. But when you jump and assume that person said this and this is what they meant, or they did something and this is what their motive was, and then over time, you can end up making yourself look like a fool. Sometimes it's just best to reserve judgment and just wait and let it play out. You know what I'm saying? And then let it play out. Because you don't want to move too fast. See, when you're moving too fast, trying to be over analytical on every little solitary thing people say, that's what happened. Another thing I'm going to tell y'all to do too, man. Y'all stop texting each other serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you got time to text something, call them. Because a lot of stuff get lost in translation in a text message. You could text somebody something and they could take your text the wrong way. So what you were texting, they can't tell the intent or the tone of voice of which that would have been spoken, and it get taken the wrong way. Y'all are grown people. If it's a serious matter and you don't want no confusion, no misunderstanding to come with it, if you feel like you can't wait to call them, you got to text it to them right then, something wrong with your brain. Some stuff, man, you can just wait, pick up the phone, call them and talk to them. That way don't no confusion get involved. You know what I'm saying? Everything be crystal clear and you'll be good. How many of y'all done had misunderstandings come from texting because somebody misread what you text them or you misread what somebody text you? How many of y'all done had that happen to you? So I'm just saying, I done told y'all before, man. You got something serious, man, don't text me, man. Cause sometimes I don't ignore you. But I'm going to start ignoring you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to start ignoring you. It better just call me, man. You know what I'm saying? It better just call me, man. I'm talking about serious stuff. I'm talking about serious stuff so you don't feel, it don't be no, I ain't understanding what you're saying. Or I misread what you're saying. Especially if you got a significant other, you married or you dating. Man, if it's something serious or you got a concern, you need to call that person with that. Or at least set up a meeting to look them in the face and tell them that. Don't be texting that stuff. Serious business? You ain't got no business texting no business. You know what I'm saying? You grown. If you a business person, pick up the phone and call them. Because if you doing business with people, ain't nobody want no text. They want a phone call. You know what I'm saying? They want a phone call. If it ain't a phone call, they want an email. You don't do business sending nobody no text message. That's not how you conduct business. Straight, I mean, it's just not how you do it. Any of y'all agree on that? That ain't no way how you handle stuff. That's not. That ain't how you handle stuff. So come on over here to John chapter 6 with this wafer anointed with oil. Even when you see that with Paul in some of his epistles, where he said, I got to come straighten that out when I get there. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all misconstruing what I'm talking about. I make sure this stuff clear. So I'm going to come see you in the flesh so it ain't no mistaking. Because sometimes people see what they want to see and they read what they want to hear. They read what they want to read and they see what they want to see. You got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Let me see what verse it is I desire here. 47. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believe on me have everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which come down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which come down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And that bread I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. This man just told you that he was unleavened. 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. He just told you he was the manna. It said this manna was anointed with oil. We know Hamashiach was anointed with oil. We seen that when Mary anointed him, right? So then he would be that same, for him to be able to minister in the priest's office and for the apostles to do it, because after he did it, they sat down and they ate that bread. So that means it was anointed with fresh oil, wasn't it? Them wafers of honey, that unleavened bread. So they could minister in his office, priest's office forever. So that means so we could be joined, if we ministered in the priest's office, joined to Aaron, that means Levi, right? Because Levi joined to Aaron, the sons of Aaron. And they live forever, which goes back to what we looked at last week about those who take part in the first resurrection, upon whom the second death don't got no power. All about anointing some bread. Cause I guess that bread is a Mashiach too then, huh? But this anointed, right? I guess that's a Messiah too. He got oil on him too. Make it verse 6 of 1 Corinthians 5. Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven the whole lump? See, some of y'all be glorying and stuff, but guess what? It's not good if you're sinning. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Hamashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. If you're going to sit down and eat at Hamashiach's table, why are you still sitting down with that old bread in you? Why you still got that same mind frame, that same thought process? I done said this so many times before. I don't see how you niggas can go lay down every day and get up and do the same retarded, stupid junk every single day. How you get up and you still the same? How you ain't got that leaving up out of you yet? We just looked at those that are clean, how escape from them that are in error. Job told us that those with clean hands get stronger and stronger. If you're wondering why you're not being strengthened and settled in the word like you're supposed to, it's because your hands still dirty. Some of y'all go utterly crazy with washing your hands and sanitizing your hands, but why won't you wash and sanitize your heart? How you more concerned with the cleanliness of your hand? That's what the Mashiach was trying to show them when he ate that food with unwashed hands. You so concerned with your hands being washed, but your heart dirty. Why you won't wash that? Not to say that you shouldn't wash your hands. That's not what we're saying. Was that what the Lord saying? Don't wash your hands before you eat? Of course not. He was sitting there showing them why you so concerned with how clean your hands is before you eat this meat and this bread, but you're not nowhere near as concerned with cleaning your heart. This you're not concerned with. Some of y'all can be so concerned by cleaning your physical house, but your actual house is disgusting. How does that work? And I know some of you niggas' house just outright disgusting because you disgusting all the way around, so it's only right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm mentioning this here. If you got the discipline and the wherewithal to keep your physical tabernacle clean, why won't you keep your natural tabernacle, the tabernacle the Lord gave you, that he fashioned by his mercy and goodness? Why you can't get that clean if you that diligent to keep your house clean? You know what I'm saying? If you that diligent to keep your house in order, why you can't get your soul in order? You know what I'm saying? I just be wanting y'all to think about this type of stuff. Look at the direction of the life, the way that you're going. Because this man be warning y'all about some of the same stuff week in and week out. And obviously it's not registering in your mind because you continue to do the same stuff. This ain't on everybody. Let the sword fall where it may. You know who you is. Come on back over here, man. We good in Exodus 29. Let's find another anointed king. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 9. Let's look at Jehu. Because I said I would get Jehu. Let's get it. Let's get Jehu. Let's look at him. We just looked at him not too long ago. Let's look at verse 2 and let's look at Jehu and let's see what Jehu do. We talked about it. I guess we'll talk about it again. Y'all all right? Well, my shoulder kind of feeling crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got this big old lump on my shoulder blade. When I crack it, it says a bone callus. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little old ball. Certain shirts you can see it. You can't see it with this on here. But you know, certain t-shirts you can see it though. I know that Michigan t-shirt you can see it. Cause I remember you said it. I know it's there. It's like a ball. It's where the bone healed at. But it didn't like this heal like. I remember when I cracked it too. Doing shoulder presses. I ain't even know it was cracked. It didn't even hurt. I ain't missed no time from working out neither. Just looked up one day and had a ball on my shoulder. Make it verse 1. Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up thy loins and take this box of oil in thy hand and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when I come thither, look out there Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in and make him arise up from among his brethren and carry him to an inner chamber. Then take the box of oil and pour it on his head and say, Thus saith Yah, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door and flee and tarry not. So the young man, even the young man, the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. And when he came, behold, the captain of the host was sitting. And he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, Unto which of all us? And he said, To thee, O captain. And he arose and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head and said unto him, Thus saith Yah, Elohim of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of Yah, even over Israel. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of the servants of Yah at the hand of Jezebel. So Jehu was anointed to do what? Exact vengeance, wasn't he? So he was an anointed one to enact vengeance. Well, let's look at, hold on. Let me see something. Let's go over here to 2 Samuel chapter 1. Let me see if 2 Samuel chapter 1, what I want to go along with this. Let me make sure this is what I want to go along with this. I was looking at something earlier. 2 Samuel chapter 1, what that wasn't what I was looking at earlier to go along with this. You know, we sit back looking at it now. We looked at, hold on, we still holding Psalm 45. When we looked at, so far, we looked at 2 anointed kings, or 2 anointed people. We looked at the king in 2 Kings 11. That wasn't what it is. Lord will, it'll come back to my mind. Come on around here to Revelation 19, or 18 actually. Lord will, it'll come back to my mind what it was. What time it is, about 11:18. I might give you about 20 more minutes, maybe not even that long. Revelation 18. He say Jehu was anointed to smite Jezebel and to avenge the blood of the servants with Jezebel spilled, that stinking whore. But before we do that, Revelation 17 and about verse 1. Let me set it up. Revelation 17 and 1. Let me set it up. And there came one of the 7 angels which had 7 vials and talked with me, saying, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stone and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. You know, a lot of people love to scream that this is who. Who people love to say this here? And who else they love to say it here? Who else they love to say it here? The Roman, yeah, they love to say this, the Roman Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? They say, look at her, bro. She got on purple, and look at the color of her priest. You know what I'm saying? All the kings of the earth do fornication with her. You know what I'm saying? But truth be told, this is a whole world system. It's a whole world system. You know, the Pope got a lot of sway, but sometimes I think people give the Pope just a little bit more credit than what he deserves. Hold on, they cut him off again. Oh, you all right over there? They ain't out there peeking their head out the door. They ought to be asleep by now. All right. So let's look at this great whore now. Because it said that Jehu was anointed to make vengeance on Jezebel, who was a great whore, because she was teaching the people rebellion. And they were drinking from the wine of her fornication, from the idols that she had them worshiping too, right? She sat as a queen too, right? And upon her forehead was written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the Kodesh ones, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahshua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. You know, we done read that. It said Obadiah had to hide the prophets of Yah 50 by 50 in caves, right? Why? Because Jezebel was shedding the blood of the sanctified ones of Yah, was she not? She was martyring people for the name of Yah. What is the nigga doing? Nigga eating rocks? Nigga sound like he eating real rocks right out the front yard. Around here, out here biting on the bricks and where the switch bush at. That's what T said. They say, why all the grandmas always got the switch bush and they got all them concrete, them little bricks surrounding everything. I ain't gonna lie to you. My granddaddy had that same thing in front of his house too. You know what I'm saying? They had that little switch bush and they'll have them bricks. Always them gray bricks too. Right there holding in the ground. I ain't gonna lie, my granddaddy had that in front of his house too. Now I just sat back and said that this woman was drunk with the blood of the people that she killed. Just like Jezebel was drunk with the blood of the servants of Yah that she killed. Well, let's sit back and look at verse 14. Come on, man, these niggas don't be paying. Y'all don't, that's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Y'all niggas need to make sure y'all take some naps before 8 o'clock come around, man. Drink your 5-hour energy or something. This stuff don't make no sense. I'm for real though, man. Nigga be around here snoring and gagging and dragging stuff all over the place. Like, nigga, what's wrong with you? You need some help? You all right? You need a hug? Shoot. I'm gonna go on ahead and tell it. There's something wrong with these niggas, man. They need to do something. They need to do something. Yep. Y'all keep that governor thing in mind. I'm gonna get to it after a while. I'm trying to hold on one second. I might as well do something. I'm trying to remember this thing I was looking at earlier. I would go right along with it. It fit perfectly with this thing right here. I'm trying to remember. But as we look at Jezebel, and right now in the earth right now, they're not killing us for the word yet. But they surely is spilling our blood in it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, though, they are spilling our blood in it and everywhere. They feel like that there'll be nothing. There's no retribution, no accountability that they feel like they got the answer to. And I know that, I mean, man, let's just don't be real with it. Man, we ain't feeling that no more. We feel like this. This is how we feeling right now. We feeling like we done went through all this stuff in this country with these people and they still don't respect us. Like, it's 2015 and we out here talking about Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all see what the quarterback from Ohio State had to tell their white man? He was sitting here talking about, when you say all lives matter, what do you mean? He was basically saying, don't try to push us up under the bed. Man, that white dude say, man, you don't need to be worrying about stuff like that. You need to be focusing on winning us another championship. He said, I'm sorry, sir. He said, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know I wasn't allowed to talk about anything other than football, sir. That's how the nigga tweeted it. That's how he tweeted it. He tweeted it like talking like a slave. To let him know, this is a young nigga now. This is a young boy. But he would let them know, like, what do you mean, homeboy? I can say what I need to say. I can say what I want to say. Hold on, here we go. Second Chronicles 28. That's what I wanted. One more king. We won't get to David tonight. Y'all will. We get in the afternoon. I ain't even get nowhere near Hosea chapter 3. You hold Revelation 17. I ain't even get nowhere near that. Maybe we'll get to it sometime later on today. Because I got to get ready to let y'all go. It's 11:25. 28:1. Let's look at Ahaz. That's what it was. Because Jehu was anointed to exact vengeance, right? Ahaz was 20 years old when he began to reign and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. But he did that not which was right in the sight of Yah like David his father. He say, for he walked in the ways of the king of Israel and made also molten images for Baalim. So when we go and drop down, let's drop on down about verse 8. So we looking at Ahaz, he's an old wicked nigga. Look what verse 8 say. And the children of Israel carried away captive of their brethren 200,000 women, sons and daughters, and took also away much spoil from them, and brought the spoil to Samaria. But a prophet of Yah was there, whose name was Oded. And he went out before the host that came to Samaria, and said unto them, Behold, because Yah Elohim of your fathers was war for Judah, he have delivered them into your hand, and you have slain them in a rage that reached up unto heaven. And now you purpose to keep under the children of Judah and Jerusalem for bondmen and bondwomen unto you, but there are not with you, even with you, sins against Yah your Elohim. Now we sitting back looking at it. Ain't that what Babylon did? Refused to let Israel go. That's what he said in Jeremiah chapter 50. Babylon refused to let him go. Y'all familiar with that, right? He said he refused to let him go. Say he got us for bondmen and bondwomen. Say you done slain him, that rage reach under heaven. Don't it say that in Revelation 18 about Babylon, her sins have reached under heaven? He say, now hear me therefore, deliver the captives again, which you have taken captive of your brethren, for the fierce wrath of Yah is upon you. Then the certain of the heads of the children of Ephraim, and Azariah the son of Jehonan, and Bechariah the son of Mishameloth, and Hezekiah the son of Shallum, and Amasa the son of Hadalah, stood up against them that came from the war. And he said unto them, you shall not bring in the captives thither. For whereas we have offended against Yah already, you intend to add more to our sins and to our trespass, for our trespass is great, and there is fierce wrath against Israel. So the armed men left the captives and spoiled before the princes and all the congregation. And the men which were expressed by name rose up and took the captives with the spoil, clothed all that were naked among them, and arrayed them, and shod them, and gave them to eat and drink, and anointed them, and carried all the feeble of them upon asses, and brought them to Jericho, the city of palm trees, to their brethren. Then they returned to Samaria. And at that time did King Ahaz send unto the kings of Assyria to help him. For again the Edomites had come and smitten Judah and carried away captives. The Philistines also invaded the cities of the low country and the south of Yehudah, and taken Beth Shemesh and Ajon and Gederoth and Shako with the villages thereof, and Timnah with the villages thereof, and Gimzo also and all the villages thereof, and they dwelt there. For Yah brought Judah low, because Ahaz king of Israel, for he had made Judah naked and transgressed sore against Yah. How did he make? He say Ahaz made Judah naked. Come over here and look at Genesis chapter 3. Yeah, breaking the law. But he made Judah naked because he made their trespass come up. But he also said he made them low. And he also said they took the spoil and they divided it. He said they took the spoil with the great and divided it with the strong. Remember that in Isaiah? Because we got to clean that up. Then we got to look at and see if Mashiach bear the sins of many. But let's look at Genesis chapter 3. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them were both opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yah Elohim walking in the garden of the cool day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. Now remember, it said Ahaz made Judah low and made Judah naked. Well, we turn around and we sit back and we see Satan made Judah low and made Judah naked because of his sins, because of his rebellion. See, because they wasn't watching, they wasn't ignorant to their devices. See, those men who stood up that heard the prophecy of Oded, they sat back and considered something. We see what's going on. We can't add this trespass because we paying attention. We see what's happening. And I got to finish Psalm 45. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. I'm at 2:18. I got to roll. Let's sit back and let's look at what the Lord did though. Drop on down about verse 20 after he gave him all the curses and all these things here, what they did. And Adam called his wife's name because he was the mother of all living. And unto Adam and to his wife did Yah Elohim make coats of skins and clothe them. Now ain't that something we look in 2 Chronicles 28? It say the men rose up and took the captives with the spoil, clothed all that were naked. It say the men which were expressed by name. Expressed by name. They were called. So when they talking about men expressed by name, then you know who we can turn around and look at? The apostles. Are they not called by name? Did he not name all of them in Matthew chapter 10? Did he not give them power in heaven and earth? So when we turn around and we look at it right here, taking the captives which were spoiled and them that were naked, he said he arrayed them. He gave them to eat and drink, and he anointed them. He gave them a covering. They were anointed. They got food. They got drink, and they got freed from their captivity and taken to a city of palm trees. The city of palm trees is in the land of Judah. We still got to complete Jehu, because Jehu was anointed to do what? Execute vengeance upon a woman who shed the blood of the servants of Yah. Let's turn around and let's look at something. Let's look at it around here, taking the captives and setting them free. Let's look at John chapter 8, verse 34. Matter of fact, let's not even look at that. Colossians chapter 1. Let me find it. My page on the floor. Let me see if Colossians chapter 1 even on this page. That's Ephesians. Ooh, boy, that nigga tore all up. He's done. That page is done. Colossians chapter 1. Verse 23. Or 24. Who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is in behind of the afflictions of Mashiach, in my flesh for his body's sake, which is the synagogue. Wherefore I am made a minister according to the dispensation of Elohim, which is given to me for you, to fulfill the word of Elohim. Even the mystery which have been hid from the ages and from generations, but is now made manifest to his Kodesh ones, to whom Elohim would make known what is the riches of his glory. He made known them same riches was given to those people in 2 Chronicles. Of the mystery among the Gentiles, which is a Mashiach in you, the hope of glory, whom we preach, warning every man, and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we might present every man perfect in Yahshua HaMashiach. Paul said, my whole purpose is to warn and teach every man to make you perfect. In order to make you perfect, we know we got to do what? If they got eat and drink, what did they get? If they got eat and drink, what did they get? I just read that to you. That means they drunk his blood and they ate his flesh. He said, I took the captives, I anointed them, I gave them eat and drink. He said, my flesh is meat indeed, my blood is drink indeed, and I clothed them. Let's look at John chapter 6, verse 54, man. Let me go ahead and read it out the book for a smart nigga. So nobody don't say nothing. John 6:54. He say, whoso eat my flesh and drink my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eat my flesh and drink my blood dwell in me, and I in him. And as the living Father hath sent me, I live by the Father. So he that eat me, even he shall live by me. So when he sat back, and these men who took these captives, who freed these men because they were in bondage. Remember, he sat back. These were the leaders of Israel that had these men in bondage. He said, man, you got to let these people go. That's what he was sitting back telling, what Mashiach told the scribes and Pharisees. You shut up the kingdom of heaven unto men. You turn the grace of our Elohim into lasciviousness. And deny even Yah who brought him and our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach. So when we look at it, these are the false preachers. Hamashiach is coming through. He say, you know what? Free the captives. Because if the Son shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. And after he freed them, he said, let me give you some eat and some drink. Let me give you my flesh and my blood. Take this cup of the new covenant. Here, eat. This is my body. Which means you'll be conformed to his death. Which going right back to what I was talking to y'all about earlier. Dying. Taking on his death. You don't got to take on the impaling. You ain't got to take on the stoning, the spitting, the slapping, the crown of thorns, the getting hit with the reed. You ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is just drink the cup and eat the bread, and you did it right then. Die to sin. He said the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is alive because of righteousness. Die to the word. So you can bring forth that fruit. Then he turned around and say he anointed them. When we look at Acts chapter 19, we see Paul called by name. We see Peter called by name. We see Matthew called by name. John, all the apostles called by name. He expressed their name. Their names are on the 12 gates, ain't they? Ain't their names on the gates of the city? Let's look what else these men did so we can get out of here. We'll finish Jehu calling tonight. We got to get out of here. So when we sit back and we look at it, he said those that would take captive, they were spoiled and they were clothed. You didn't sit back and look at Satan spoiled Adam and Eve. He spoiled them. He took the chance away. He stole from them the chance of them to get to the tree of life. He took that from them. That's why he said he had to come destroy the works of the devil. That's why the son of Elohim was manifested, to destroy the works of Satan. He came back. Come on, hold what you got. John chapter 10. He said they were spoiled. Let's see, and we sitting back looking at them captives in 2 Chronicles 28. Wouldn't you say they were spoiled? So when we look at John chapter 10 and verse 10, let's see what Mashiach say. He say, the thief come not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. That's all them men were coming to do, what they take from them people. That's all these Hebrew Israelite false prophets doing. That's all these Christian false prophets doing. Coming to steal, kill, and destroy. They trying to take all your money. They trying to take some of you women vagina. They trying to take your hope, and they killing you dead with false teaching. Then he say, all them that were naked, he clothed them. We just turned around and looked in the law. It said that Adam and Eve were naked. They tried to cover up with a fig leaf. Y'all say, man, that fig leaf ain't covered you up. Let me make some skins for you. Make some lamb skin for you. Put that on. Romans 13 and 14 say, put that on because you're naked. So y'all got to sit back and look at something. These men set a captive free, gave them clothes because they were naked, and anointed them, and gave them something to eat and something to drink. This is all the salvation of y'all right there. These niggas think this just a story about getting somebody and giving them some clothes and something to eat. And then he took them to a city of palm trees after that. Come on, man. Come on, man. What that was I just mentioned. Oh, Romans 13 and 14. We still holding on Jehu. 13 and 13. Matter of fact, make it 11. And that knowing the time that it is now high time to awake out of sleep. It's going back to what I was talking about, because you ain't watching and praying. You sleep. You sleep with your eyes open. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and in drunkenness, not in chambering and in wantonness, not in strife and in envy. Put ye on the Lord Yahshua HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Ain't no way, Revelation 16 and 15, ain't no way in the world you put a Mashiach on and you fulfilling the lust of the flesh. Put that coat of skin on. Put the Lord on. Why do you sit back and see that these men who freed these captives who were naked, they gave them clothing? We see that Adam was naked and Eve was naked because of sin, and Yah gave them a garment to cover their sin. We really looking at how Mashiach came to bear the sins of many. Even with Adam partaking with Eve, he was bearing the sin of many. He was taking on death, just like a Mashiach did. And these niggas say Isaiah 53 is Israel, ought to be slapped in the mouth, I say. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watch and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. See, your sins are hid in the Mashiach. Your life is hid in the Mashiach. See, Paul told us that in Colossians 3 and 1. Set your affections on the things that's in heaven, where Mashiach is hid, because your life is hid in him, because he bared your sin. You know he bared your sin because he put the tree, the cross, the stake, whatever you gonna say, he put it on his shoulder. He bared that. He carried that. So you didn't have to. Thank the Lord for salvation. He did that so you didn't have to. And then after he bared your sin, and knowing you were captive to sin, and he say, he that commits sin is the servant of sin, and whosoever believe on the Son shall be set free. Not only did he do that, he seen you were naked, he gave you a cover, and he gave you the Ruach HaKodesh. He seen you were hungry, he gave you his flesh. He seen you was thirsty, he gave you his blood. He seen you lack oil, he anointed you with the Ruach HaKodesh. And then when he looking at, so what's that city he took him to with the palm tree? We right here in the book of Revelation. Let's just look at 2 and 7. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the synagogues. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim. Because these men went back to Samaria. These people were in the land of Yehuda. He said in the land of Judah, where the city where the palm trees was at. We look at a city with palm trees, that takes us right back to the Garden of Eden, don't it? Because it was a land full of trees. And that takes us back to Isaiah 51, when he said he would make Jerusalem like unto the Garden of Eden. And then we see in the end of Revelation 22, a tree in the middle of the city, which was for the healing of the nations. So we sitting back looking at all these anointings, all these people were coming through to give us all these things. And let's finish with Jehu in the 18th chapter. I got to get y'all out of here. 2.5 hours is long enough. Revelation 18 and 20. Well, I'm sorry. Let me finish 17. All these people coming to make war against the Lamb. Let's see, because Jehu came to make war. He smashed everybody. Then shall they make war, 14, pardon me, Revelation 17 and 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called, chosen, and faithful. Verse 20 of the 18th chapter of the book of Revelation. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye Kodesh apostles and prophets. For Elohim have avenged you on her. And as a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Didn't it say that Jezebel's body be ripped apart and nobody would find it? Was she not? Let's go back to 2 Kings chapter 12. Let's see if she was thrown down and she wasn't found no more at all. I'm not sure. Second Kings chapter 9, pardon me, verse 30. And when Jehu would come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out a window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she had said, had Zimri peace, and slew his master? He lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? There looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down. And some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trode her underfoot. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink and said, go, see now this cursed woman and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. You already seen Babylon was cursed, didn't they? And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hand. Ain't that amazing that we see Jezebel being thrown down just like Babylon was thrown down and you don't find nothing left of her? Wow. An anointed one filling the role of Hamashiach, filling the role of Yahshua, just like all the other ones we looked at. Psalm 45, we can't leave that incomplete. We just go straight to verse 7. Lord will, I come back later on today, and we'll get verses 2 through 6. He said, thou lovest righteousness and hate wickedness, therefore Elohim, thy Elohim, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. We know from Hebrews chapter 1, this is also referring to the angels, the Malachim, the messengers, right? You can look at that Hebrews 1 and 6, about right there, about the Malachim, that how Hamashiach is anointed higher than the Malachim, higher than the angels. But then we also look at how Mashiach was anointed by Mary and that oil of gladness above his fellows when he put up on that tree. He was anointed above his fellows, wasn't he? Wouldn't you say? But we all Mashiachs, though. We all anointed ones, though. But all this stuff seemed to keep pointing to one singular person. The man that told you to search the scriptures because they talking about him. But you know what? That's good right there. Praise be to Yah through our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach for the word. Pray the Lord. We'll start right there. Ain't no need. We'll start right there.